Hi, I'm Jared.
I'm Kate.
And this is Speaking Of.
And speaking of,
Speaking of?
yes, I wanted to just point out the fact that once again, I'm right.
All right.
So
Let's hear
remember,
it.
I think it was like a year ago. Okay, maybe 2 episodes ago? I don't remember.
Seems like a year.
But Jared
We
here
age in dog years,
ended our
apparently.
episode with a bit of a cliffhanger and then left you all just hanging like a bunch of monkeys.
On that cliff.
Yes, or is it like the cat in that picture? Hanging there. I know that sounds like a cat poster, but it's true.
But it was a cat poster. Anyway.
So please, enlighten us.
So we were speaking of shoes that could kill you.
Yes.
And it made me think of our good friend Anna Camp, who's been in Pitch Perfect.
Anna.
And so Anna has also been guest starring lately on one of my other favorite shows, True Blood.
Oh boy.
So on True Blood, she plays this preacher's wife and is all shiny and nice and happy. And anyway, she gets in trouble with the state.
As a preacher's wife will.
Yes. And so this person has a little bit of information on her, so she realizes she's going to have to kill this lady.
It happens.
And keep in mind, she's sunshiny, happy. So she's chasing down this lady, tackles her to the ground, takes off her high heel, and spikes it into her skull.
That's my dream.
Which made me think of shoes that can kill you. But then the only other thing I could think of is don't ever piss off Aubrey Posen.
Do not, because Aubrey Posen.
I also liked that she ended after with a nice, cheerful praise Jesus.
That's
It was
how
fantastic.
I end my murderous rampages. Don't
Made me
you?
laugh hard all the time.
Wow.
So that's it.
Wow. Well, okay.
Climb back up that cliff now, kids.
Well, okay. You
Okay.
actually got things pretty ready for me, but you did it. Now I'm backwards, so I'm gonna have to just
Do you
start
need me
over.
to toss it to you again?
No, I'm just gonna start over.
All right.
So we're gonna do a bit of a quiz.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna show this pen to you,
Okay.
and I want you to tell me what the colors of this pen make you think of.
Blood.
No.
Still blood.
It's orange!
Blood orange. My favorite beverage.
You fail.
What is
Okay,
it?
for serious, look at these colors. Orange, blue, and white. What does it make you think of? Mister, I've worked in a school for how long?
Orange, blue, and white. What is this on the side?
Don't look at what it says. It's just the colors.
I got nothing.
Elmer's glue.
Oh, Elmer's
Am
glue.
I crazy? Come on.
So I hope it's advertising Elmer's glue after all that.
No, and you kind of ruined it by not guessing, but whatever. Here's the irony
She
of
passed
it.
me the answer in a note. Slid it across the table. We used to
Speaking
do
of-
that.
I was gonna say, speaking of passing notes across the table, we have a story for you shortly. So within the episode cliffhanger. Okay, so the irony of this making me think of Elmer's glue
Right.
is that it is a pen for a veterinary hospital.
Time once again for Veterinarian's Hospital.
I'm
the
just-
continuing story of a quack who's gone to the dogs. Do you know what show that's from?
I assume the Muppets.
Oh, thank heaven. I was going to have to disown you.
You can't get Elmer's... Whatever. Anyway, we had a little incident with the puppy the other night and had to take her to these...
Like you had to glue her?
No, we had to... She just wouldn't listen! You're next! But yeah, I saw this pen there and I was like, well, that's interesting. So I guess if they don't make it... And then Hubs decided that it was referencing, it was close to the Simpsons, you won't eat our meat, but you'll glue with our feet.
Oh, those Simpsons.
I know. Anyway, so speaking of dead things. No, I know, I have more. You
All
might not
right.
even get a chance to tell another story
That's
now.
all right.
So speaking of dead things,
Mm-hmm.
Beverly and I were in the break room today because she was forcing me to watch her eat apples and peanut butter. Don't ask. Okay, maybe forcing is the wrong word.
Yeah, I don't care for that combination, but continue.
Well, it was a last minute emergency
Oh,
combination.
all right. Okay.
Yeah,
She didn't have any chocolate, clearly.
clearly. Anyway, so we're sitting there, we're talking, and we're sitting so that we're distracted by the television that's in there, okay? And there's this game show playing, and we're trying to figure out what this game show even is. And we're looking at the set, and it's not a game show that either one of us had ever seen. But looking at the set, looking at the game show host, it looked like it was late 80s or something.
There's a lot of stuff like that lately.
Well, apparently there is. But so we're watching it, we're trying to figure it out, and I'm like, but the contestants, they don't necessarily look like they're
fashion fallbacks.
Exactly. And I would know. Beater probably could have figured it out by looking at it.
Right.
That's from 1993. But whatever. So anyway, so we keep watching it, and we're trying to figure out what the show is, is it current? I don't know. I keep assuming that it's current. Well, so then they play this game. So it's a man. It's a man and a woman. So they play this game where the guy has a picture of like an actress woman, and then they have these ages up on the wall. So they have to take the actress, like Joan Collins, and they have to figure out
what age they are?
guess which of the ages. So they're putting them up there, and there's like, I wish I could remember which all of them were, but there was like Jane Fonda and
that's hard.
Priscilla Presley.
Oh, that's very hard.
Joan Collins, Farrah Fawcett.
I mean, it's one thing if they gave you like different generations or something.
Yeah,
but,
no.
Oh.
And the pictures of them were all like total 80s pictures or whatever. Well, so they're putting them up there, and I was like, okay, you guys are wrong, because Joan Collins is not 56.
Oh,
okay?
no, she's been married too many times to be
Well,
56.
Right? I mean, come on. Unless you start at 12.
But she's doing them back to back now.
She might be. Well, actually, it wasn't 50. I think it was 64, because then the next one was 72, and I was like, oh no, Joan Collins is totally 72, and I can't remember who it was that was after her that I hadn't really heard of, that I was like, no way is she older, I don't know. Anyway, so they go through this whole thing. And so Beverly was like, I'm like, what are they trying to decide, like, how old they are? And Beverly didn't quite hear me, and she said, is that like supposed to be how old they were when they died? And I said,
they're still alive.
well, I said, they're not dead. And she said, Farrah Fawcett's dead. And I said, no, she's not. And she goes, she's dead. I know she is. I said, how is it that you're so confident? I just know. So I'm a little concerned.
Thankfully, it's not like the time we had the Casey Kasem conversation.
Right. Well, so it turns out Farrah Fawcett is dead. Sorry.
Yes.
But it was 2009. So then I looked at Joan Collins, and she's currently like 80-something. So it turns out
it wasn't dated.
It is an old show. But yeah, I was just really concerned about how confident she was that Farrah Fawcett was out of the picture. I'm just saying.
Just saying. So speaking of dates and numbers and whatnot, reminded me of another story.
This is a good story.
Kate already had a preview, and she assured me this is, worthy to put on the air.
Yes.
So before I came to the studio today, I had stopped at our local Target. And as I'm coming out, there's a panhandler on a bike, and a lady is giving him some money, and she gets back in her car. So me, I just don't want the awkward, no, I don't have anything to give you, so I'm trying to get in my car as quick as I can. Rides down over on his bike, and from you, I don't want to ask you for money. I just want to ask you for your number. To which I replied,
in true Jared
fashion, if you have to ask for money, you don't have enough for my phone number. And I got in my car and went on my merry way to Studio W.
He's probably still crying.
I hope, because how on earth is that attractive to anyone? I'm going to panhandle and then I'm going to come up and hit on you. I'm going to plan on taking me to Olive Garden Sports. You might need to ask for more donations.
Look, I don't think he's thinking of anything so fancy as the Olive Garden. Okay, you
I'll
might
be
be
lucky
lucky
to
to
get a Happy Meal.
Fazoli's or something, maybe. Yeah, come on. Well, okay, so speaking of awkward
situations,
I guess, similarly,
no.
Again today, Beverly and I, we went out of the office area and she didn't have her badge. I always rely on her to have her badge to get us back in because that's her job, okay? I go with
You're going to remember one thing, remember the badge.
I go with her for moral support. She goes with me for the badge. Whatever. Well, she didn't have the badge this time, so we get to the door and we're like, oh no, we can't get in. So
I could tell you how to get in. I get in there frequently without a badge.
Piggybacking?
Sometimes.
Well, nobody was there, so we're looking through the window. This was also kind of amusing. So I look through the window and I see somebody in the break room, and so I'm like,
and
there's like a door. Wow. Anyway, so there's like a little sign on the window, right? And so I can see just above it.
Does it
so,
say no soliciting?
No, it just says like which suite it is or
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
So I'm like, so here's the top of the sign, and I'm tapping on the window, going, please, please, without your
Yes.
words. And then
Without my words.
And so then I'm, because they can't hear me.
That's right.
And so I was like doing this little thing, and Bev was like, do you see somebody? Do you really see somebody? No, I'm putting on this show for no one. Anyway.
You know what? You might want to next time just to mess with her head.
Well, don't think I won't. But then here's what happens. The lady comes and she lets us in. And this is what she says. Because, okay.
Did she chastise you?
No. So if I were the one opening the door, I would have been like, okay, that's $5, right?
Right.
But no, she doesn't say that. She says, I'm just going to need your unborn children. I said, or no, she said your unborn child. And I said, that's all I have, so you can have them. And I'm thinking to myself,
She messed it up. Firstborn.
right. Because I'm thinking, first of all,
But God bless her for trying.
that's all I've got. And second of all, how would that even work? Like, how do I get it to you? What do you do with it? Like, the whole thing it wasn't worth it. I would have
Gotta stay
rather
on
just sit outside of
channel it, I
the
don't know.
couch until someone else came to open the door.
Wow. Oh, yeah. You talk about that. Producer just slipped us a note like we used to do in high school.
Oh, yeah.
It's a cliffhanger!
No, we're telling this story. Back in high school, in video production, no less. See, we've been training for this our whole lives.
Oh, it's sad how long
So-
we've been training for this.
We're in film class or whatever it is, and the guys that are doing the commercial or
They're
whatever.
doing something.
And we don't like
it's
them.
important. Yes, that's important. We don't like them, but it's important to know that I'm directing and Kate's there in her capacity as editor.
Oh, is that what? I was like, what
Yeah.
was my capacity?
No,
I
your
don't even
capacity,
remember.
we were doing a commercial for whatever we
literary
did.
magazine.
That's what we did in high school. That thing we did. So yeah,
Yes.
so I'm sitting there telling, they're asking me, was that take good? Oh yeah, that was great. That was, and we're all smiles and laughing, and now take it away.
And then I slip him a note that says, I want to kill them.
No.
Oh,
I still have this note. I have to bring it in. I have it somewhere. It says, I hate them so much.
was so underlined.
Uh-huh.
So like me.
Yes.
So like me.
Anyway. All right.
Anyway.
Oh wait, the views.
Okay, so speaking of stick figure stories, we said that if we reached 100 views, we would post in PDF form a stick figure story. We are not fully convinced that it was 100 separate views.
Yep.
So, because it's on the honor system and we don't trust anybody's integrity out there,
No, we don't.
we will keep our end of the bargain,
Because we're like that.
aren't we though?
Sometimes
And we
we're
will
not,
post
though.
a stick figure story via PDF form.
Yes.
How?
Yes.
If you want more, then we need to see 15 individual user comments on the stick
15.
figure video.
Different people.
Correct.
We cannot stress
And-
individual enough.
No made up accounts either.
Because we know made up accounts. They have skills.
What? I have
That's
a bit of
right.
a cough. I'm fine.
We'll get you something for it.
Yeah. So give us some comments, likes, and shares and stuff.
And stuff. And those are the conditions.
Yes.
And I'm Jared.
And I'm Kate.
We'll see you next time.
Yes, we will.